Welcome to Live Action Newsletter, Episode 4. On today's programming, at 1 o'clock p.m., Demystifying Alzheimer's with Mary Yaman Garone. Mary will discuss the truth about Alzheimer's. If you want to request a transcript, please email us lscaldwell, CAULDWELL, at passionateworldradionetwork.com. Also, while you're at it, on the right-hand side of the website, https://passionateworldradionetwork.com, you will see a box saying email form. Sign it up and receive advance copy of the audio Live on Action newsletter in your email box way before the rest of the crowd does. And in return, you will receive 3 archival files from some of the top hosts at PWRN of your choice: Dr. James Rietveld, Rowena Cherry, Dr. Jaretta Nord, Millie Bess, and learn something that no one else has heard. Think about it. Then, on Tuesday, from 11 to 11:30 a.m., on Lillian's Interviews, Lillian Caldwell will be interviewing Dr. Monica Starkman, who wrote a book called The End of Miracles. It's a novel, but it discusses the topic of infertility and the strain and the stress it produces as we follow one woman's journey into finding out she's infertile and how she handles it. Or does she? Then later on in the evening, from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m., you have Ed Robinson and TV Confidential. And on tomorrow's show, you will be introduced to TV pioneer, author, producer, and actor Michael St. John. Then on Wednesday from 8:30 to 9 p.m., join Flash Silvermoon and What the Animals Tell Me. Followed from 10 to 10:45 p.m. with Dr. James Rietveld on Myth and Legend, History and Religion. On Thursday, I welcome financial advisor Craig Smalley on Lillian's Interviews from 11 to 11 a.m. If you have questions, please join us at Spreaker.com/user 8680265. So that's https://www.spreaker, Spreaker.com/user /8680265. And come in and ask your questions of Greg of how you plan your financial future. And now a word from our sponsors. Advertising. It's the life's blood of all companies, institutions, nonprofit and for-profit. Invest your money to bring in more money. How do you do that? By running an ad on Passionate World Radio Network. 30-second, 45 seconds, and 60-second commercials. Or if you really want to stretch your dollar in a great investment, spring forward with our new 5-minute info podcast and let the world know what you have to offer and what you're talking about. Your audience consists of 3 million on-demand listeners who will wait to hear what you say. 66% of them now are females as professionals and millennials. Get them now and you'll have them for life. Instant gratification, not only for you, but for them. So invest in your product or services or your message and do a commercial at PWR Network, Passionate World Radio Network. where passion meets reality. Did you know that in most universities and colleges now, there's something called trigger warnings? What is a trigger warning? A trigger warning is something that college students are now demanding that their professor provide them with, telling them about the course material that they may not want to hear about because it upsets them, or they may just don't want to hear about because they disagree with what the material is saying and they want to avoid taking the course altogether. Is our free speech being threatened? Might it go the way of the dinosaurs? Now, many of the professors place trigger warnings in their material at the start of each semester so that the students know whether or not A, they want to take the course, B, not take the course, or C, stick their fingers in their ear while some of the more unpleasant aspects of the course are being discussed or delivered. What do you think? Do you think trigger warnings should be placed on content and information that is shared from many of the internet talk radio stations and radio stations these days? Go over to https://passionateworldradionetwork.com, and on the right-hand side of the page, sign into the email form and let me know. Let PWRN know what you think about trigger warnings. And in return, you'll receive an advanced copy of Live Action Newsletter before everybody else. Did you know that PWRN is revising its programming, content, and information so that you'll receive the type of information that you need today for tomorrow? And one of the new programs we're going to be putting on towards the end of March is with Dr. Jack Singer, who's a psychologist, who advises financial advisors on handling stress and emotions in their jobs. He will be doing serial podcasts with Lillian Caldwell, and they will invite you, the audience, to come and join them and ask questions about how stress and emotions may be affecting your job and what you can do to handle it. Along these same lines, Ed Daube, D-A-U-B-E, also will be discussing emotions, anger, anxiety, fear, guilt. Which type of emotion do you need to cover? Now's your chance to ask an expert. Now you can find out what your problem is and how to handle it. Just go over to https://passionateworldradionetwork.com and put in your information in the email form and let us know what emotion you need help with, so it won't keep you from getting that job promotion. It won't keep you from maybe getting that loan, or maybe it won't destroy a relationship that you've been working on for so long. To hear the live programming, go to https://www.spreaker.com/usual/8680265. Tune in and listen afterwards, or come in and join us on the chat. So if you have a question, it can be answered immediately. But at any event, come and join us. What's all this about trigger warnings? You can find it in the article called Censorship News, the National Coalition Against Censorship newsletter. And you can find it also at www.ncac.org. Well, that's it for today's audio newsletter. Come and join us tomorrow. And if you have something you want to be heard, and PassionateWorldRadioNetwork.com newsletter, let us know. Email us at lscaldwell CAULDWELL at PassionateWorldRadioNetwork.com, and we'll work something out. Thank you all very much for listening. And before you go and enter the world of today, Katharine Hepburn had this to say in 1909. Sometimes I wonder if men and women really suit each other. Perhaps they should live next door and just visit now and then.